الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد نبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome you, all of you, wherever you are, with your program Fatwa Life that comes to you Tuesday, the 15th of Ramadan. And this is half of Ramadan. And the days is about to leave. May Allah not let it go without forgiveness of our sins and accepted deeds. The first question. One of my friends asked me to go to court about inheritance. I don't know his brothers. And he said to swear that they are the inheritance. Is that okay? Before you go to court, the answer, if you go before court to verify that these are his brothers,
وجاء في حديث في إسناده مقال عن ابن عباس رضي الله عنهما
Ibn Abbas said to the Prophet said, you see the son? He said, on it, make witness or leave. The hadith, even though it might be weak, but still you have to verify everything before you testify. Could be obligatory if it is a way to prove rights of others. But if you are not verified, then he shouldn't witness. Second question, someone died and you have two wives. Each one, they live in an apartment with their kids that did not marry, and the second one with her daughter. And they say that it is under the daughter because she paid some money. And the man died. You have other apartments and other stores. Each wife, does she have the right for that house? So that villa or apartment could be in millions for the first one, and the second one only the apartment. Especially this second one said that it's for her daughter, and there is other minor things. The answer, if he did not write the villa for her or divide it between his kids before the marriage of the second one, then it has to be a part of inheritance. And the second one, you need to look that he did write or that she paid money, because the gift cannot be except with the reception. The documentation could be for receiving, otherwise it will be inheritance. The only exception would be the money that she put in there. It will be loan on the inheritance. May Allah to help. Otherwise, everything will be among all the inheritance. For the two wives, they get 1/8, and the rest for the kids. For the male has double the share of the woman, if there is no other inheritance. Question, my kids, they have a project to collect money to put water for a poor money. Can I put some of my zakah for that? I don't want to benefit from my zakah to help my kids. We tell him, first of all, Jazakallah khair for your concern. But the problem is not being having a problem. If their project it is non-profit, they are the best that you help to establish a project of goodness and to help on doing what is good. If it is something that is part of zakah, why not? Their father help them in something to encourage them, to give them a hand and to help them in it. But the problem is not like that. The problem originally is okay to put money on a project like that or not. We see if that in a village that is very bad, that they're all poor, they deserve the zakah. That is about the thing that the scholars look at. Because some that put a condition, the ownership. It has to be given to the poor. And some allowed it to specify the benefit than others. It's as if they're saying the ownership, the public ownership, is the same thing like individual. That's what they are claiming. And that, how about the group of ownership? That this is, they own. This water is for you. This hospital is for you. No one shared it with you. Allah A'lam, that it can be for the desperate need or for the poor of that, and because their life depends on the water. That's that's closer to the guidance, and this is what the IFTA committee in Egypt they allowed, that the Sharia made the help of the needy and needy, the poor and needy, is one of the main things. And since it's their life depends on it, it is part of that, and that is a priority into spending the zakah. And the thing is to make them sufficient and to start their life living and eating and drinking and medicine. The Prophet ﷺ mentioned them in the Hadith of Mu'adh, when you go to Yemen, if they accept the La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, then the prayers, and then Allah ordered them to take a charity from them, a sadaqah taken from their rich, give it to their poor. So this is part of the necessity, life necessity, that is allowed to be part of zakah. Second question that follow: my uncle was sick in Ramadan. He's poor. He don't have enough. He did not fast, and he died. And he did not feel no. He died 5 months ago. So what do I do? Well, first of all, the people with a terminal illness, their obligation of fasting, they go from fasting to feeding. Why? Because it has to be obligation, because Allah said, fear Allah as you can. And Allah saying, Allah does not ordain you more than you could burden. And then Allah said, and those who could burden it, they have to feed needy for each day. It is the elder, men or women, they cannot fast, they could feed needy. And the sick that you don't expect his healing, he have the same rule of the elder. Ibn al-Qudama fi al-Mughni, his book al-Mughni, said, and those who cannot fast, then he need to feed for each day a needy person. And you have to be capable. If you can't do it because you are poor, then it's not required on him, and he needs to ask Allah's forgiveness. And with that, he is good, because the obligation, the capability, the ability to do something. Alam Tantawi said, if he can't, that the fidya can be because of his hardship, let him ask Allah's forgiveness and ask him to forgive him for being short. Imam Nawawi says, and if we obligated the fidya and the order and he can't, is it required on him? No, it's not. In another one, and the elder person, if he can't feed, nothing on him, and Allah do not put any soul except what it's capable of. So if he's not able to pay for or to feed one person every day, yes, Allah is most forgiving. Allah did not make anything in this religion hard. The second question, my mother was sick before Ramadan. She could not fast. What is she required to do? To feed for every day, or to wait for healing and then make fasting and or the answer, may Allah inshallah heal her and to give her the reward and the cure. If you expected that she'll be cured, that whenever Allah Azza wa give her the cure to be able to compensate for those days, because Allah said if you are sick or traveling that you can't fast, to make it on some other days. If she can't, then it will be from become on her the feeding, one needy for each day. Then what is the rule about money that I was forced to take with interest because of a loan, and I have to pay it back again? First of all, may Allah forgive you that you dealt with the riba before, unless you had.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وذروا ما بقي من الربا فإن لم تفعلوا فأذنوا بحرب من الله ويوم القيامة يقال لآكل الربا خذ سلاحك للحرب.
At the day of judgment, the person who take usually the riba, will say, take your weapon for war with Allah. And riba is not allowed in any religion that Allah descended. Allah talking about the Jews, that they taken the riba and they were forbidden on doing it, and they eat people's money falsely. And the Pope of the Catholic Church, they used to say that whomever does it is not even part of the religion. And those who do riba, usually they lose their honor, and if they die, they don't put the garments on them. So don't take it lightly on this great sin. Now it's already, now the money is in your hand. You can't take it pay it back. Go ahead and pay it, and don't only necessary. If you are in need, may Allah inshallah give you the ease. If not, return the money back. And Allah will open to you so many other gates. The reward of in Mecca 100,000, the fasting 1,000, and Prophet ﷺ. Is the reward different? Yes, it's multiplied. Is it 1,000 or 100,000? That's different. But is it going to multiply? Yes. Just like the sin, it will be double the punishment. Even the intention of a sin and transgression, Allah will make him taste a very severe torment. Sometimes I go to a further place for Jum'ah. To pay for the bus fare, is that forbidden, or what is required for you? You have no count. You have to go to Jum'ah with the transportation. And to do it, you have to pay money. So it is. You don't want to intentionally wanted to deny any and the masjid you go to, they should be the masjid that the rules are followed. So if you go there before the prayers, so what happened before is forgiveness. Wallahu alam. What is the rule about using the spray for those who have asthma? We said different times that from the thing they decided that the spray for that is would not break your fast, and they really comfort us from the things that we could dispute. I don't say that it is a majority, but at least it gives you an understanding. So the spray for asthma does not break your fast. I heard from them that it is required on the husband if you have to stay at home, and the wife could go every other day, and they go back and forth. Well, I have there is no obligation except what Allah obligated. If you said Allah for the wife to go one day and for me one day, it'll be more gentle, more but required, it is something from Allah and His Messenger. There's 5 types: obligation, and you have to have an evidence. No obligation except what Allah and the Messenger obligated. Nothing forbidden except what Allah and the Messenger forbids. And our big scholars, they don't like to use the word wajib. We like something for him. He's supposed to do this. But to make it obligatory, that's there is needs a proof. There is none. In general, the woman praying at home is much better than her own. For her to pray at home is better than to pray in the masjid of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ said to a woman that I know you like to pray with me, but your prayer at your home is better than the prayer in the masjid. And when she did that, she needs to seek the reward from Allah. The thing is, where did Allah order you? Where can it be more pleasing to Allah? More beloved to Him. And then they said, what made them change their destination? To Allah is the east and west. If He tells you right, left, Jerusalem, Jerusalem. To Allah is east and west. He got to whomever He wants to a straight path. If He tells you right, left. That's the worshiping of Allah Azza wa Jalla. So I can understand the Imams saying that, but what if the woman is very good, she's very energized to Taraweeh when she is in the masjid, but when she's at home, she is lazy. The Taraweeh in the house, it is okay. The Maliki, they think it is better in the house than it is in the masjid. So if she feels like she's going to be lazy, it is better for her to go to the masjid. And there's so many things that could be accepted between the two, husband and wife. And there is no obligation except what Allah and the Messenger did. And it is nice to have the husband to be kind to his wife and to help her with Allah. And he found she is completely not going to pray, then it is okay to make the trade. What is the rule about using Visa credit card with one to pay full? Yes, we have a decision about using the credit card debit because of the problem, and there is no replacement. In the East, they have Islamic institutions, so they have a replacement. In the West, we don't have replacements. So because of the general need and the seldom of replacement, it is okay to use it within the capability of paying it in full. And those who are capable to pay ahead of time. Another one, I'm married to an American. She embraced Islam when we get married. She does not, she fasts, but she don't pray. Is her fasting correct? We cannot say because you don't pray, no fasting. No, it's good to fast, but you should pray. Because what's between the person and leaving disbelief is the not leaving the prayer.
لكن قد يستأذن
And there could be an exception with the new Muslims with what is not allowed with us. So you need to be patient and soften the heart to the prayers. May Allah open her heart to the prayer, inshallah.
هل يعد الذهاب من مدينة إلى مدينة داخل
Is
واحدة يعتبر سفر خاصة؟
is going from one city to another one. Is it like long distance? No, it is. When you say a state, and the states are different. We lived in Virginia. Between Virginia and Washington, like one bridge. So you can say that going from Virginia to Washington, you are traveling. But Houston to Dallas is fasting. It's a long distance. 2, 3, 4. So the states are not the same. It has to be with the distance considered traveling, and it is 50 miles. That's considered traveling. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك.